Alright guys, I encountered a little issue with my KPMF vinyl when wrapping the car. I had some hazing issues when I started with the trunk, which at first I thought it is maybe me, it's new material, I'm not used to it, maybe I overstretched it, whatever. But then I noticed that this basically happens as soon as you just pull a little bit on the material, it or like instantly hazes out, so it loses its gloss and it gets matte. So I was thinking like, okay, that's not me, that must be something else. Nevertheless, I tried to wrap the bumper because I was still hoping that it's really me, or maybe it will not show actually that much if it goes on the body lines. So the color is pretty intricate, so this was my hopes, and I had enough material anyway to do a second run on the bumper. This was planned in just in case. But in the end, the result was absolutely not satisfying, especially as I had a client coming in who noticed the difference in the finishing of the material, and then I was like, okay guys, this is not normal, there is something wrong with the material. So yes, I contacted KPMF already and my supplier, so we are working on finding a solution. I'm getting new material, but I wanted to show you, I'm trying to do this with a light. If I pull the light fully, then you don't see anything, so it's just like a little bit. It's about the reflection, okay? So you can see right now I'm sitting on the part where I barely had to pull the material on this bumper because it's pretty straightforward. I'm holding the lamp a little bit off so you can really see the reflection of the light. You see me sitting on a chair, or my contour at least, and you see it's like really glossy, like the reflection is pretty clear. Yes, there's a little bit of structure in it, but this is vinyl typical. This is, you cannot get a mirror-like finish. Well, there are vinyls with a mirror-like finish, but not this one, which is okay, it's fine. So you see, like, oh, a carton behind me. It is pretty nice, it's glossy, it reflects really nice, okay? So now we are coming to the critical part. Latest it here, starting at this point where you see the light, I'm moving it, this is where I have to go, heat up the material a little bit and start to stretch to get around this corner in order to get it above nice and flat, which is not a big deal with anything else I have used so far. Avery 3M, whatever. I wrapped a bunch of bumpers which were way more intricate than this one, and it was working. But already you can see here it's still shiny, 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 gloss, 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 and then it starts to haze out, right? You see it. The sharpness of the light source loses its contour, and this gets worse as further we get. Like here, you see it's blurring completely out. It's blurring, it's basically... Okay, I'm trying to hold it a little different. Here it's like really a blur. I'm trying to... even if I turn the light, the light source is bad. And the side... Okay. And actually at this point here, the stretch is going actually back a little bit to its normal state, because here it's a straight surface, so I didn't have to stretch much, I just had to position it a little bit up. In comparison to the whoops, quarter panel, you see the difference? Gloss, this is my lamp. Haze. Right? And I made another video where I basically really compared a little piece of vinyl, what I have, the material here, this is also what I sent to my supplier, and the color swatch sample I have. And I will attach this right after, so you can see that the color swatch sample that I have, I pulled it, I stretched it like a damn chewing gum, and it remained super glossy, like it's supposed to be. I was actually expecting it, like when stretching it really, 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 really hard beyond its limits, that then it might haze out, which would be totally normal, but I didn't even do that. And it remained super gloss, okay? While the piece of material what I used here on the car, I stretched it just a little bit, not even as far as the color swatch sample, and it hazed out basically instantly and got a matte surface. So I just wanted to show you this to you guys, and let me know in your comments if ever someone had something like that before, because I mean, I'm working since over 10 years in this business and I never had an issue like that. Not even with old material, like super old material, like really over old material. The only thing what I know is that it gets brittle and it will break and it will just rip apart, but I never seen something that it hazes out, that it gets matte from a gloss finish to a satin to a matte finish. I never had this, so I don't know if I'm just unlucky and this was my first trial on KPMF iridescent and whatever, or I don't know. It's really striking me, and I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. My supplier is sending me new material, as I said, and they tested it because I asked them beforehand sending me the material. They stretched it a little bit and showed me a video, and it looked like it's fine. It doesn't haze out. So when it arrives here, it's already on the way. I will see. I will test it beforehand, and then I will rewrap the bumper again and hope then it's fine. I will have to rewrap the trunk also because I have an issue there too, and maybe even the left side quarter panel because I have a little issue there too. And by the way, if you say, okay, this is extreme stretching and it might happen because, I would agree, but the thing is, this even happened here in this molding. Okay, in the molding itself, I try to get it. Can you see this? Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Look at that. The above the molding, the reflection is pretty clear. In the molding, it's really mattish. And then under, it's getting clear again. And this is not a deep molding, okay? I mean, this is, trying to hold the lamp here and talk at the same time, which is a little bit difficult. Maybe like that. Okay, this is now really blinding. Anyway, this is not deep, okay? I mean, you see my fingers? This is like, I don't know, 4 centimeters wide and maybe in total 5 millimeters deep. With any other material, you can just push this in cold. You don't even have to heat it up. Avery 3M, it goes, or Cal, no problem. Here I put it just, I just kissed it with the heat gun, okay, just to make it a little bit soft. And then I just filled it in like anyone would do because of the rounding here. You cannot go in right now because you will cause fingers, so it's easier just to go over it, stretch over it, and then put it in. This has to be cut out, and you can see that even in this area it hazed out, which in this case is not so bad because there is another molding part which goes on top, which I have to wrap, but I have to wrap it here in this round. So here I will have to stretch it a little bit so it grabs around this molding, and then it will haze out again, so I will have the same issue. That's why at the beginning I didn't even notice, like really I didn't really see it, because I mean, a door is not really difficult to wrap, right? I don't have to stretch much there. It's straightforward. It's a easy thing. You start with that, and when filling it this, I didn't notice it, really. I didn't see it. But then later when I worked on the quarter panel in the back, where it really goes basically around this area, right? You start to, you go, let's say I do it this way. I go to here basically, and then from here on, so that I have enough material, I will warm this up a little bit and then go over and pull it around this body line so that I don't have too much fingering here, that I don't have to pull here too much, so I don't have too much stress, because this is already the edge and I don't want to have stress here, right? Because this is what grabs around, so I want this area to be pretty relaxed. But you can see, it's hard to see here, but this area here is hazed out. This is hazed out. And the hazing starts basically where I started to pull. There is no line, no sharp line or anything like that. It just starts the moment you start to pull the material. So in the sun outside, you see this part super gloss. You see my reflection right now there with the camera in front of my nose. Very glossy, very shiny, very nice. super sexy, and then you see that it's here up to the back. It starts to get a little bit kind of hazy. I don't know, you see this in my reflection? Not much, because it's not that bad here. On this side I really made an effort. The other side is worse because it was the first I did, and then I didn't notice this hazing issue that much. But then I realized, okay, something is going on here wrong. It's not me, it's not my way to work with this material. There is an issue. And I'm trying to see. No, now you cannot see it with the light. The light source here is too bright for my camera, but it is there. It is there. And at the end of this video, I will put the other little tiny short video where I put those two samples together, and there you can see the issue. So yes, I'm asking, did anyone have this? If so, let me know, because I want to know what the heck is going on. Why is this happening? Is this a manufacturer faulty thing? Was it stored too long? Was it transported wrong? I don't know. I want to figure out. So this is the KPMF original color swatch, which I already used to try out something. And this is the piece I have cut for the same size. So what I will do now, I will stretch this material with a little bit of heat to show you that it remains glossy no matter what. So I'm pulling it, and you see it's really stretched. And the gloss remains still nice and shiny, no problem with that. This is how I'm expecting it to work. And this is my material, what I have. So I will just tuck it in and do the same procedure. And by the way, this has black glue on the back. I don't know if this makes a difference because my color swatch sample has a clear glue. So no idea if this makes something. This is low heat. See, it gets really smoothy and pliable. Oops. And it didn't stick. Okay, let's do it again, no problem. I'm stretching it just a little bit and you see already the haze. It's a totally different finish. So you see here it's really hazy, and this is just a little bit of stretch. So on my bumper it's basically matte. It's not even satin anymore, it's matte. Just to give it an example. When I shrink it back, it will remain gloss again, like this one. But stretching, no way. It does this always, no matter how much you stretch it. Cold, hot, super hot, low heat, no matter what. I cannot figure out a way to not make it hazy.